Hey there, fellow true crime aficionados. It's your host, Life's, here to take you on a journey into the darkest corners of humanity. Get ready for a blood-chilling exploration of the most notorious serial killers, as seen through the lens of Hollywood. This isn't just a movie marathon though. We're diving deep, dissecting both the silver screen and reality. We'll examine the movies that brought these terrifying tales to life, delve into the real-life horrors that inspired them, and uncover just how accurately these cinematic portrayals reflect the chilling truth. Buckle up because we're about to descend into a world of murder, madness, and the macabre. You won't want to miss a single frame. The Deliberate Stranger isn't your typical Hollywood glamorization. This made-for-TV movie starring Mark Harmon as the devilishly charming Ted Bundy dives headfirst into the abyss of Bundy's crimes. The film doesn't shy away from the brutality, but it's the unsettling normalcy that truly gets under your skin. Bundy, a seemingly charismatic law student, was able to lure his victims with a disarming smile and a believable facade. We witness his calculated manipulation, the cold-blooded killings, and the horrifying realization that a monster can hide in plain sight. The film, based on the book by Richard W. Larson, sticks disturbingly close to the facts of Bundy's case. From the details of his crimes to the courtroom drama, it's a stark reminder that evil doesn't always wear a menacing mask. The Deliberate Stranger forces us to confront the unsettling truth. Monsters can look just like us. And that, my friends, is the most terrifying realization of all. Brace yourselves because Snowtown is not for the faint of heart. This Australian crime drama delves into the horrific true story of John Bunting and his band of depraved followers. Set against the bleak backdrop of South Australia in the 1990s, the film chronicles the group's reign of terror as they tortured and murdered 12 victims. What makes Snowtown so chilling is its unflinching realism. Director Justin Kurzel doesn't sugarcoat the violence or the motivations behind these heinous acts. We see the group's twisted sense of justice, their descent into madness, and the horrific consequences of their actions. The film's grainy aesthetic and haunting performances, particularly Daniel Henschel's portrayal of John Bunting, create an atmosphere of unrelenting dread. Snowtown isn't just a film, it's an experience that will stay with you long after the credits roll. It's a stark reminder that darkness can fester in the most unexpected places, leading to unimaginable acts of cruelty. New York City, 1977. A sweltering summer, a city on edge, and a shadow of fear cast by the .44 caliber killer, the son of Sam. Spike Lee's Summer of Sam isn't your typical serial killer flick. It's a gritty, character-driven exploration of how paranoia and suspicion can tear a community apart. While the film doesn't focus solely on David Berkowitz, the man behind the Son of Sam moniker, it captures the palpable terror that gripped the city during his year-long reign of terror. We see the fear in the eyes of ordinary New Yorkers, the frantic police investigation, and the media frenzy that fueled the flames of hysteria. Lee paints a vivid portrait of a city teetering on the brink, where everyone is a suspect, and no one feels safe. Summer of Sam is a reminder that sometimes the most terrifying monsters are the ones we create in our own minds, fueled by fear and uncertainty. This time, we see the story through the eyes of the killer himself. Ted Bundy, starring Michael Riley Burke, takes us on a chilling journey through the mind of one of America's most notorious serial killers. The film doesn't shy away from the gruesome details of Bundy's crimes, but it also attempts to understand the man behind the murders. Was he a product of a troubled childhood? A master manipulator driven by a need for control? The film doesn't provide easy answers, instead presenting a complex and disturbing portrait of a man capable of unspeakable acts of violence. While some scenes are dramatized for cinematic effect, the core of Ted Bundy remains true to the known facts of his case. It's a haunting reminder that evil can lurk beneath a charming exterior, and that sometimes the most terrifying monsters are the ones who seem the most human. Raw, unsettling, and deeply disturbing, Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer is not for the easily offended. This low-budget masterpiece, inspired by the confessions of real-life killers Henry Lee Lucas and Otis Toole, plunges us into the abyss of their murderous rampage. Michael Rooker delivers a chillingly authentic performance as Henry, a drifter with a vacant stare and a complete lack of remorse. The film doesn't attempt to rationalize or explain Henry's actions. Instead, it presents them with a stark and unflinching realism that is both terrifying and thought-provoking. Henry's Portrait of a Serial Killer is a bleak and nihilistic film, but it's also a powerful exploration of the dark side of human nature. It's a reminder that evil can exist in the most mundane forms, and that sometimes the most terrifying monsters are the ones we least expect. In the heart of Texas lies a desolate stretch of land known as the Killing Fields. This eerie landscape serves as the backdrop for Canaan Man's chilling film, inspired by real-life unsolved murders haunting the area for decades. The film weaves fictional narratives with the chilling reality of unsolved cases, creating a palpable sense of dread and mystery. We follow detectives, haunted by the unsolved cases, desperate to bring closure to the families of the victims. The film captures the frustration and determination of those seeking justice in the face of unimaginable evil. While taking creative liberties, it stays true to the spirit of real-life mysteries baffling investigators to this day. The film serves as a haunting reminder that some horrors remain unsolved, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions. Jeffrey Dahmer. The name alone sends chills down the spines of even the most hardened, true crime enthusiast. In Dahmer, director David Jacobson doesn't shy away from the horrific reality of Dahmer's crimes. We see the meticulous dismemberment, the cannibalism, the sheer depravity that made Dahmer one of the most reviled figures in American history. But the film goes beyond the sensational headlines, delving into the psyche of a monster. Jeremy Renner delivers a chillingly understated performance as Dahmer, capturing the killer's quiet demeanor and chilling detachment. We witness his descent into madness, his twisted desires, and the horrifying consequences of his actions. Dahmer is a difficult film to watch, but it's also a powerful and disturbing exploration of the dark side of human nature. It's a reminder that evil can lurk beneath the surface of even the most unassuming individuals, and that sometimes the most terrifying monsters are the ones who walk among us undetected. In the 1960s Boston, a reign of terror gripped the city. Women were being strangled in their homes, and fear ran rampant. The Boston Strangler shifts the focus from the killer to the relentless reporters who sought to uncover the truth. Keira Knightley and Carrie Coon deliver powerful performances as journalists who risk their lives to expose the story. The film highlights the sexism and challenges they faced in a male-dominated newsroom. While the film centers on the journalists, it doesn't shy away from the chilling details of the case. We see the fear in the eyes of the victims' families, the pressure on the police to catch the killer, and the media frenzy that surrounded the case. The Boston Strangler is a gripping reminder of the power of investigative journalism. Charlize Theron delivers a tour-de-force performance in Monster, completely transforming herself into Aileen Wuornos, a troubled drifter who became one of America's most notorious female serial killers. The film chronicles Aileen's descent into darkness, exploring the abuse, poverty, and societal neglect that shaped her tragic life. We see her vulnerability, her desperate need for love and acceptance, and the rage that ultimately consumes her. Monster humanizes Aileen without condoning her actions. It's a heartbreaking and unflinching portrait of a woman pushed to the edge, forced to make impossible choices in a world that had already turned its back on her. The film's gritty realism and Theron's raw, Oscar-winning performance make Monster one of the most powerful and disturbing serial killer films ever made. It's a reminder that behind every monster there's a story, a complex web of circumstances that can lead someone down a path of unimaginable darkness. The Zodiac Killer, a name that strikes fear and fascination even decades later. David Fincher's Zodiac takes us back to the late 1960s and 1970s, when Northern California was terrorized by a cunning and elusive serial killer. The film, however, isn't a typical cat-and-mouse thriller. Instead, it's a meticulously crafted slow burn, focusing on the obsessive pursuit of the truth by investigators and journalists alike. We follow the San Francisco Police Department's investigation, the tireless work of cartoonist Robert Graysmith, who became obsessed with cracking the Zodiac's codes, and the toll the case took on everyone involved. Zodiac is a chilling reminder that some mysteries may never be solved, leaving behind a legacy of unanswered questions and a haunting reminder of the darkness that can lurk in the shadows. So there you have it, our chilling exploration of the most historically accurate serial killer movies. From the chilling realism of Snowtown to the haunting mystery of Zodiac, these films offer a glimpse into the darkest corners of human nature and the real-life horrors that inspired them. If you found this journey into the macabre as captivating as I did, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more explorations into the world of true crime. Until next time, remember, the truth is often stranger and more terrifying than fiction. Stay curious, stay vigilant, and most importantly, stay out of the dark.